Star Wars Battlefront is one of the most beautiful games I've played so far. That runs at a smooth 60 frames per second. And it's a beta. A beta which is pretty good so far. For all the things that we've heard about this game, we've heard they've taken out space battles, galactic battles, a campaign mode. It's a pretty good game. It's well made. I don't think I could really say anything bad about it. When there were lags in the matches, that wasn't due to the game. That was due to my internet, because I don't have great internet. But besides that, it's a well-made game. So, is there anything I can really say about it? Well, no. This game is like one of those try it yourself experiences. Especially if you're a Star Wars fan. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're gonna love this game. It captures Star Wars beautifully. I felt like I was an actual stormtrooper, on the field. But I've got to say, I do miss the fact that we're not gonna have space battles. And on top of that, I really do not like the fact that there is going to be no campaign mode for this game, because this game could definitely use one. This game would be a lot more fun if it had a campaign mode. A bit sick. So, what is the game like? Well, for one, there are only 3 modes so far. You've got the 2 online modes and a missions mode, which is basically, it's just got one set of missions, which is survival, which can be played solo, online with another player, or locally, which I was kind of surprised since there's not many games that do local multiplayer anymore. I was quite surprised when they included this. So, let's start with the online modes. First of all, you've got, I don't remember what the first one was called because I've been too busy playing this one. But basically what it was there was these pods that dropped, these escape pods. You had to defend these escape pods. And the first team to defend the most escape pods wins within the time limit. But that wasn't really an interesting one. This one that you're looking at is an interesting one, which I also don't remember the name of. So, what's the point of this mode? So, if you're on the Imperial side, your job is to defend the AT-ATs. They have to get from one end of the map to the other. If you're the rebels, you have to destroy them. Simple as. But in this other map, which is pretty big. It is actually pretty big. I heard complaints that the maps weren't very big. No, it's pretty big. For what it is. So yeah, you're supposed to defend the AT-ATs, and so with that you'll get power-ups. So first thing you're gonna find on the field will be power-ups. This is like a way of, because like in the old Battlefront games, you would choose a class and then eventually you would unlock the chance to play a Jedi. That's how it works. In this game, you find pickups. So you got ones which could be proximity mines, thermal grenades, squad shields, things like that. And then you got ones like X-wings, walkers. You can get in the AT-ATs, hero pickups, which depending on which side you're on, you can either play as Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker, and they are really fun to play as, especially Vader. You feel powerful when you play as Vader, sort of. If you're like me, who just, as soon as he played as Vader, ran straight into the enemy lines, you're gonna die quickly. Vader's not one of those characters. Or Luke. On top of that, when you choose the hero, when you get the hero, I'm sorry, not choose hero, get, they're only for a limited time. So as soon as you start playing as them, their health starts going down slowly. The only way their health's going to go down quicker is you start getting shot. But they're pretty powerful, hence why they had to put that in. On top of that, when you get into the AT-AT, you have 1 minute in there, which sounds short, but it's actually pretty long. Like when you're in the AT-AT, it does feel like you're in there for a long time. Only thing is, it's just really difficult to shoot in there, because when it comes to the AT-AT, you've got two types of turrets you can use on it. The top turrets and the bottom turrets. The top turrets are just standard turrets. They shoot bullets, but it's really hard to control. It actually feels quite slippery, but that's not really much of the problem. The other one, because like you can get some control over it after a while. The other one are these cannons that can shoot like explosive bullets. Like if your aim is pretty good, you can shoot down like multiple targets. Only figures, it's just difficult to shoot multiple targets. Well, I had difficulty. I aimed at a target and I couldn't shoot it because something was obstructing the cannon. Now, the one complaint I've heard a lot about in this game was the flying. The flying's terrible. It's awful. It's the worst thing about the game. It isn't. It's probably one of the most fun things about the game. So, how you fly is, the left stick is your acceleration and your brake, and your right stick is your steering. L2 and R2, L1, I don't know, I don't really know, yeah. L2 and R2 are still like the standard locking on and firing, and then L1 and R1 are your side weapons. You have like two side weapons, and the flying is pretty great. It's easy to do, and you can shoot enemies from the ground, which for flying is pretty easy. I would expect it to be a lot more difficult. Now the walker's a little bit more difficult, because just like with the AT-AT's turrets, the control is slippery. If you were to zoom in using L2, you're going to start slipping from side to side. It's going to be difficult to shoot an enemy. It's going to be pretty hard to do. So, and on top of that, the AT-ST, which is the walker, I just completely forgot its actual name, is it's difficult to use. It's not a tank, because I tried to use it as a tank. It's not a tank, okay? As soon as you get to enemy lines, everybody's gonna start shooting that. So when you get it, stand behind some sort of massive boulder or something, because those things are not easy to use. They're difficult to maneuver as well because of its sheer size. So what about the Imperial? Well, no, the Imperials. The Rebels. What did they get? They get nothing. All they get is the wire wing, which has to be activated through these satellites. You have to defend a satellite long enough, and then they get this wire wing that flies in and then attacks the AT-AT. I think they stun it as well. Once the AT-AT is stunned, then every single player on the Rebel side can now shoot it to start doing damage to it. But the thing is, it's really difficult to take down an AT-AT. As a matter of fact, the Rebels don't win in this game mode. They have not won, not even once. I've played this game since yesterday, and not even once did the Rebels win. They failed every single time, because you have to take down two AT-ATs, and taking down one is hard enough. Taking down two is even harder. On top of that, everybody's focusing on getting kills, including me, because let's be honest, that's what you want, a good KD. But yeah, so where was I? I've kind of fallen. Oh yeah. So the AT-ATs are impossible to destroy. If you're taking down one, your team better be like well organized, because after you take down one, you have to take down the other. So the best strategy would be to take down the first one really, really quickly, then go for the second one, because as soon as the AT-ATs get to like the halfway point, there's no point in destroying them. They've already won. So, and well, that's basically that mode. That is the best mode in the game, by the way. That was the mode I was playing all day. I didn't play the other mode. I played the missions, and like a few times, but that was when my internet was pretty bad. But besides that, this mode is the best by far. Hopefully the other modes will be better when this game comes out. Next we got the missions. So the one mission you get is survival mode, where you survive 6 waves of enemies. Now, unlike every survival mode ever, it gets harder and harder and harder. But with each wave, they introduce a new enemy type. So, for the first wave, you get the standard stormtroopers. For the second wave, you get heavy stormtroopers with these big, with these miniguns. Which takes quite some time to kill them. Like, it took me quite a few tries to kill them. They're pretty strong. Then for the next wave, you've got ATSTs and so on and so forth. For that mode, you really get to appreciate the gameplay. If you have bad internet, play that mode. You'll get to appreciate the gameplay a little bit more. You'll get to appreciate the environment of Tatooine. By the way, each mode is set on a different map, not all the same map. You get to see how good you are at this game. On top of that, it's pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna run through this mode pretty quickly. It's not difficult at all. It'd probably be even easier with players, with a co-op partner. Now, there's another thing about this game, which is customization. Now, since this is a beta, you don't get everything in the customization. Actually, the one thing you don't get, because you get 3 different types of customizations. You get the cards, you get the choice of weapon, and customizing your player. You don't get the customizing your player, and that's it. So, for each side, you get a total of 4 guns. They're all the same guns. It doesn't matter which side you choose. And these guns have the standard. They do different damage. The best one is the one you get for rank 5, which is this machine gun, which has no sights, but doesn't do much damage, but it has an incredible fire rate. It shoots at an incredible speed. It's really good. It's my favorite weapon. Then, besides the weapons, you've got these cards. Now, you've got 3 different cards. One is grenades, another one is like a special ability, an ion ability, and another one is like a gun or a jetpack or something like that. So, and you unlock these through ranking up and buying them with in-game currency. The one I use a standard hand grenade and something called a cycle rifle, which is basically a sniper rifle. It's really good. It's probably one of the best weapons to use. Everybody uses it. And then I've got the ion shot, which is what it does. It charges up your bullets for your gun. That allows you to take down vehicles. Now, another thing about this game is you do not want to go in head first. Don't go in head first. Never go in front of your teammates, because that's how you're gonna die. The best thing to do is hang back. If you have the cycle rifle, use that first. Then, if you've killed them, then just still stay at the back. But if you don't, and get them down to minimal health, just poke your head out, shoot them. Never run in front. Always stay at the back. Always stay in cover. If you run in front, you're gonna die a lot. It's always best to stay back. Now, even though you can stay back, other players are going to do it as well. Actually, it's incredibly easy to shoot from long distance. Most players are going to do that, and it's going to be like the hard. Can't think of the word at the moment. It's going to be difficult at first to shoot from long distance, but then you're going to get used to it because the shooting is really good in this game. It's really, really good. On top of what else is there to talk about this game? Pretty much said what I need to say about this game. Ranking up is incredibly easy. Like, you'll get most of it through combat, but if you do the objectives, which you're not going to be doing much of because you're going to be killing up enemies and being killed a lot, then you'll get more points for that. Ranking up is so easy in this game. You do not understand how easy. And by the way, that's where my recording cut off. But yeah, this beta is a pretty good beta. It's still on the PS Store. I suggest you go pick it up because this game is so much fun. I don't know when it's coming out. Somewhere in November. That's as much as I know. And I'm not going to go into any further details about that. But yeah, this is a pretty good game. Try it out and have fun. See ya. By the way, here's some gameplay of me sucking as Luke Skywalker.